Seekers. We are back with another quick peek. We are blessing you guys today and tomorrow on these rapid fire quick peeks. Tonight, we're going to be talking about Star Trek Picard Season 3, Episode 1. Yes, we're finally focusing on the Trekkies, and not the Marvels and the Star Wars, the people out there, the DCs, and all that other trash. So, Mike, actually going to give the baton to you for this discussion because I think between you and I, we're both Star Trek fans, but you've been the one that really been keeping tabs. And you got me re-engaged with this IP and franchise to the point where I felt like I had passed this time. I wasn't really into it. Some of the animated shows I did keep up with, but other than some of the Next Generation movies and maybe some of the J.J. Abrams movies, I was like, not so interested. But this show was very interesting because they brought back Patrick Stewart, which to me is a phenomenal actor and character of Jean-Luc Picard. I watched season 1 under your encouragement, and my sisters as well. Shout out to Patricia. Season 2, I was not able to keep, for a bunch of different reasons, I was not able to keep following along. Yet you recommended me to give this season a shot, despite not watching or really being interested in season 2. And I think for the most part, I'm happy. That was a very good decision by me to give it a shot. To move at a different pace, but I think for the most part, I was pretty impressed with this premiere. But again, I'll give you the baton because you are the king of Star Trek, and here to speak. So go get him.
All right, so thanks for that. Where do we start? I mean, this is Picard. For those who don't know, it's a continuation of basically the Next Generation, where we're 30, 35 years later. Uh, yeah,
And the movies. So
we're
the next generation.
looking into the life of Jean-Luc Picard post Starfleet. For those who saw season 1 and 2, you know what's happened. There was basically he's got his own little band of misfits with him for the stuff they were doing then. This one was really interesting, and the reason I said to you, James, you got to watch this is, for one, this is the final season of Picard, and number two, they've decided to bring back everyone who served on the Enterprise D.
From the command crew.
Right. Which,
the entire
yeah,
command crew.
which in season 1 we got a taste of Riker married to Deanna and their kids, and we saw a little bit of flashbacks with Data and some other characters. But this time everybody's coming back, including Worf, and we're going to have Geordi and Beverly's back.
Beverly.
Right. And even, I think Will Wheaton said he's back on the show as the Traveler, which should be interesting. So the problem, I'm with you there. Like, the Abrams Star Trek didn't really do it for me. I had high hopes for Discovery. It was just a huge letdown. And Picard season 1 and season 2 started strong and then just kind of fizzled out at the end. I really hope they don't do that with season 3, but so far they're off to a good start. The one show I will say that is going strong for me is the Strange New Worlds, which is, you have to see it. It's more like classic Trek. They went back to that formula for how Star Trek should be: episodic, solving a mystery. What they seem to do with Discovery and season 1 and 2 Picard is they took a season and wanted to make it into a movie, spread out over a season, and it didn't really work for me.
Kind of Netflix.
Yeah,
that's the Netflix formula.
So
I got you. But going back to Strange New Worlds, does that tie into the commander, the captain prior to
Captain Pike
that had the Enterprise? Captain Pike.
So it ties into
the real.
It's his ship before Kirk takes over, and they're exploring the galaxy and stuff like that. So, but back to Picard. I mean, for me, this one, it's working so far. I love seeing the chemistry that he had with Will Riker, with oh my gosh,
I agree there.
Yeah,
Yes,
Jonathan
that
Frakes.
is name.
They always had
Yes,
great chemistry as
Jonathan Frakes. They still
yeah,
have
they
it. Like it's amazing. Like they're I don't know. It's been like almost 30 years. You said
hmm
right? Yeah. The fact that you see them on scene together, and it's like right back into it. Like the 1A 1B
yep.
role. It's just great. Even like when they're in the little the bar lounge when they're having dinner with the other captain. Like the way they play off each other. I'm like, this is what I
Yeah.
miss. And this is why I'm glad that I was watching the episode with the dynamic between the two of them. Like I had
Yeah,
sorry.
so they've got the great chemistry. It's still there. It's good to see. We saw Beverly in the beginning. Something has happened to her. We don't know exactly what. There's some kind of
Mm-hmm.
new alien race. Seems like trying to do something, trying to take over the galaxy. Who knows what?
Please tell me it's not another version of the Borg.
Yeah,
I'm
I
getting
hope not.
tired of these
I
Borg
want to see
storylines.
something different. So I'm hoping that's not. It's not the Borg. Meanwhile, so we had some holdovers from
Okay.
last season of Picard. We had Seven of Nine,
Hmm.
who's officially in Starfleet again,
Yes, who's now?
and we
Yes, I
had
noticed.
and Raf.
And who was the other? Yeah,
Yeah, no,
sorry,
no,
cut
good.
you off. The other female actress who had the secret that she was keeping. I recognize her from season two. African American actress, curly hair.
Rafi.
Um,
Yeah,
Rafi. That's
the
her.
one that was Starfleet
Yeah,
security, right?
female actress. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So she's undercover. It seems
Yeah, I
like
remember vaguely from
she's
season two.
undercover right now,
Yeah,
trying to expose some kind of terrorist plot or something, some kind of secret weapon. So we'll see where they go with that, and if it's all tied
gotcha.
together, I don't know. But I think the best part right now, so we get this distress call from Beverly, and it gets sent to Jean Luc
Hmm.
on his old Enterprise D communicator through like an old channel, which I thought was cool.
Which, by the way, funny joke. Enterprise D is not being sold as much as the other Enterprise iterations of souvenirs. That was
Yeah,
hilarious. I laughed out loud when they're like, "Oh, the fat one." Yeah, that
right. So he recruits Riker and says, "Hey, she's in trouble. We got to go help her." And they have to figure out how to get to the edge of the galaxy, basically by running on space. So they recruit Seven and Nine to help, and she's of course serving aboard the new Titan with the new captain, and they
was
have to convince him. That doesn't exactly work out well for him.
played well by a character actor who's seen in TV a lot instead of
Yeah,
movies. So
you'll
credit
recognize
there.
him if you see him, but I
But
can't.
he plays just the right, yeah, just the right level of
Todd
douchery.
Stashwick playing
Like,
Captain Shaw. Yeah,
yes,
and I thought he was
yes,
hilarious. He
played it
was like,
really
"Yeah,
well.
I'm not. I like the boring life. I'm not off to for adventure and battle. So I thought
Yeah,
that was cool.
he was a former Borg and an outbreak. We'll set your accommodations for
Yeah,
you. And they're sleeping in twin beds. I was like,
yeah.
yeah,
So
that was funny.
eventually they kind of hijack the ship and go where they need to, and then at the end they run into this huge alien vessel, which I guess we'll figure out in the next episode who they are. Overall, I thought it was a good episode for
Okay,
a season premiere. Um, the I don't know if there's any negatives. I would say it did kind of start slow again, like they normally do. But
boy, did it! I took me 3 times just to get past the. I mean, I was also multitasking, but
uh,
still, it took me 15 minutes to watch 2 minutes of the first
right.
opening.
So I what I'm really looking forward to is I want to see everybody back together for one last run, and let's get some decent storylines. And um, there was something else, but I can't remember what I was going to say. So, what'd you think of it, though?
That's fine. I had 2 questions
Mm-hmm.
for you. Well, all right. Let me answer that first. I thought the episode again. It had its moments in the beginning where I felt it kind of dragged. It wasn't really keeping me interested, and I was like, "Uh oh, season two all over again." And then, much like you text me, once they got the Titan ship, it did. This episode seemed to pivot to having better characters on screen, and like the action or the pacing seemed to change where I didn't need to like pause and look at my phone, or I was actually at this moment I was watching the
Yeah.
episode and I was like, okay, this is what I came here for, and I got it. Um, I mean, you heard me in the beginning. Like I feel like at this point in my life, after watching Star Trek, the original show, reading books when I was young, basically at one point, I was more Trekkie to Star Wars, and things changed my life. Um, I'm looking forward to seeing where this season ends, and that's a question I'm gonna get to you in a second. So I think the premiere was pretty decent, and it's gonna keep me on to watching episode two. But I want to ask you one or two questions right now. Like, what would you like for the Star Trek fan like me, who knows the original, who knows the next generation, and then at some point in their lives, kind of like teetered away from the the next generation movies that came out and the J.J. Abrams movies that came out and all of the CBS Paramount freaking content that's been dropped us. Why would someone like myself want to watch this season three of Picard?
I think for the nostalgia aspect of the characters we grew up with, and I want to see that one last. I mean, it was kind of like when we got Star Trek 10 with B4 and the clone version of Picard. Remember the Remans and all that, and it
Mm-hmm.
was kind of their send off, but we didn't really get that closure of the crew and everything. And I'm kind of hoping that's what we get here. You know, I don't know if at the end they kill Picard. Who knows if he dies? So we'll see, right?
Well, that's my second question to
Yeah.
you, sir. My second question to you is fan
Hmm.
theory. I get this a lot when I'm reading other social media content platforms, podcasts,
Hmm.
whatnot. Fan theories. So, what is your fan theory on how the show is going to end and how these cast of characters that came out from the 90s have stayed the longest? I mean, obviously, they've outlasted the OG as far as, I mean, some of them not being alive anymore, but they've outlasted the OG as far as content being distributed for them. Where do you think this is going to end? Like, what's your fan theory on how the show's going to end and where these characters are going to be sent off to?
So my theory is Picard is going to sacrifice himself to save either the crew or the
Mm.
galaxy or something big. I think.
That's in his
Yeah.
DNA. I would
Yeah.
agree. That's in his
So
DNA.
that's
Yeah.
where I'm going. That's where I think. Um, I don't see Riker going. Riker's probably retired. He's probably going to go back to Deanna, and they're going to go live their life. And I would like to see another incarnation of Data somehow. I don't know if B4 gets upgraded or whatever. It would be nice. Um, and just to see in general where the characters are now, because we see Worf. Worf was in when we saw him in the trailer. He was in some kind of uniform. I don't know if he was still serving or what,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it'd be good to kind of just see where everyone is, especially Wesley too. Since he was like traveling the through like interdimensional space with with his mind. So I want to see how he comes into
Yeah.
play with him basically having superpowers now. You know what I mean?
You like their version of Q. Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. My fan theory, I wasn't thinking about it until you mentioned it, thanks, is that just focusing on Picard, I think he's been very, very, very pivotal for this franchise. Some might argue more so than William Shatner. I dare say. I like to see him, like you said. I think his character's DNA is true to form where he would make the ultimate sacrifice, not for a small cause, but for like something galactic level, right? Whether these aliens are Borg 2.0 or some other forms of aliens, he would make that sacrifice for the galaxy. And I hope to see, and before the final credits, they'll show you Starfleet Academy, where there's like a huge statue or memorial of Picard, and then they unleash the first class of a new ship called the SS Picard, NC
Nice.
17056, whatever. Because then that gets memorialized and canonized
Right.
forever of his role in Star Trek. Much like Roddenberry
It
and
is
everyone
weird
else.
though that
So
there isn't.
that's my fan theory. I just made
It's
up on the
weird though
spot.
that in this timeline, in this time period, rather, there's no SS Kirk.
Yeah, I don't think they ever
Yeah.
thought about that. I don't think the writers are think about it. Real world, we have Kennedys, we have
Right.
Reagans, you have leaders naming ships
Yeah,
like warships. Why can't they do the same with captains and in a fictitious sci-fi thing? I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
But
So I mean, I guess we'll see how it plays out. But like I said, it's looking good so far, right?
all right, so let people know what format and what periodic timetable or show release so they can follow along with us too.
So it comes out. Looks like Thursdays. In the U.S., you're on CBS All Access. Was that Paramount Plus? I think. Uh,
Paramount
yeah,
Plus,
up
yeah.
here in Canada, you can catch it on Crave, and they're actually broadcasting on the Sci-Fi Network up here as well, so you can watch it on TV. Um, and I think we're looking.
Thursdays as well,
What's
same
that?
time, same
Yeah,
day,
yeah, same time. Yeah.
same day,
hmm
Thursdays.
So I think we're looking at 10 episodes this season.
How many episodes was last
I
season?
think they're all 10. Let's see.
Okay,
Yep, 10 episodes. So, but we should come back and do a review. Uh,
the
yeah,
finale
after the
definitely, yeah,
finale. So,
for sure. All right, this was a very well put together quick peek on a show that, thanks to Mike, that I'm glad that I'm relinking with. Mike, tell the folks where they can find us to get more information about this show and other similar shows that we are
so as
watching.
usual, we're all over the internet at Heroes Peak, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that bell to get notifications, and leave a comment below.
Speaking of comments, I would love for somebody to leave a comment about which has been their favorite Star Trek storyline and character
Yeah,
in the entire IP. That means animation, some of the books that came out in the 80s and 90s, obviously the OG show, the TNG, the Next Generation show, the CBS shows that either failed, like Discovery or this one, Picard, Strange New World that I haven't watched, but I'm hearing good things about it from certain sites. I would love to get everyone's comment or feedback about their favorite storyline from the IP franchise, as well as their favorite character or character.
yeah,
That'd be great, I think, for
that's a good
Discord.
idea. Yeah, I'd love to
So
hear
please
that
do
too.
that.
Yeah.
Well, that's it, folks. Everyone, have a blessed time. And we'll be seeing you soon. Let's get at these quick peeks. Catch them while
Yep.
they're hot.
Catch you next time.